Hey everyone. Alright, so I got a lot of requests for some reason how to make your skin look like wood. So I did my best and this is what I came up with. So yeah, it's very simple, just using like very minimal products, and that's pretty much all I can actually say about the look. So let's just go right ahead and get the tutorial started. I forgot to mention in the video, this tutorial would also come in handy for anyone who wants to be like Pinocchio for Halloween. All you would have to do is like add the nose and then like the lines and stuff like that. Or like a wooden puppet. And if you did have plans on being either of those for Halloween, if you check out my ventriloquist dummy tutorial, pairing this one with that one together could make a really cool look. So I'll put a link to that one in the video description down below. So yeah. Okay, so the first step you're going to do is you're actually just going to start drawing out the wood grain pattern. You can use anything for this, like a lip liner, an eyeliner, foundation, concealer, like anything. I'm using just a dark foundation, and then a light concealer, and then just black. Those are the colors that I'm using to do everything. You can see I already started on that side. I'm just going in with a really, really tiny little liner brush like that. And I'm rolling it around in the darker foundation, and then I'm just using that, and I'm just like freehanding the pattern that's on my skin. You can see, just drawing lines. You don't want them to be perfectly straight. You can do circles, you can do whatever. So I'm just gonna keep drawing on my face. And one good thing to do is look at different photos of like wood grain patterns, and that'll help you decide how you kind of want this to look. It'll just give you a general idea. Just Google it, and you'll see tons of different kinds of wood grain patterns, and then you can just use those as inspiration and incorporate them into your look. Now that I have everything drawn on pretty much, I'm just going to go in and do a little bit of contouring. You can see on this side that right here is highlighted, and then down here it sculpts in, and here it sculpts in. And on top of doing like regular skin contouring, you're going to do more, which I'll get into later. But I'm just going to go in with a brush like this, and since I'm using a foundation, I'm just picking up a little bit of that same color, the darker one, of course. And then just very lightly where I would normally contour, I'm going to do that right now. But I'm not going to push hard enough where all my lines disappear, because I'm still going to want to see those. I'm just going in and adding depth. Now that I have like the contours and everything on, I'm going to go in and start doing all my shading. This part, it's going to be up to you how you do it. I'm just going in with like a little angled eyeliner or brow brush, whatever you want to use it for. And I'm going in with that darker color that I'm already using to do everything. And then to shade, all I'm doing is I'm just setting it right on the line and then smudging the color over. Like so. Now I have that on and blended, and since I already started doing some contouring, but we're going to finish all that towards the end of the look, I'm going to start doing highlights. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm just using a light colored concealer like I showed earlier, and then I'm just taking a brush. Again, you can use whatever, eyeliner, face paint, doesn't matter. But I'm taking this, and then on the higher planes of my face, so like the apple of my cheek, forehead, brow, above my lip, just all those areas, I'm going to take this, and in between the wood grain, I'm going to add highlights so they stand out a little bit more, and so it just makes the face look nice and sculpted instead of just looking flat. And then one thing you'll notice about the lines that I did, I only keep them on the highlighted areas, and then I fade them out either up or down whichever direction it would go, only because you want the highlight only in the areas that would naturally be highlighted. And then once I have those on, to blend them a little bit better, I'm just going to go in with my finger, and then I just lightly tap on top. And you can see that blends it in a little bit better, but still leaves the color there. Now that I have the highlights on, I'm going to do the same thing with contours, but this time I'm going in with black. I'm just using Crayolan's Aqua Color in black, and I'm going to do the same thing that I just did with highlights, only for contours. So in this whole area where I contoured, where that wood grain pattern is, I'm going to go in over the brown lines with the black, and then do the same thing, just use my finger to tap it out, and then if I need to blend even more, I'll just go in with the brush that has that brown on it, and then lightly go over it. So, same thing. And then right here in this little crook of my nose, I'm applying it, and then I'm also extending it down and over to this area to really shade the nose, and add a bunch of contouring to make it look like your face is like sculpted out of wood, just a little bit more. For the eyes, I'm just going in with the black eyeliner, and I'm just lining on my bottom waterline. Then I'm going in with that brown foundation, and I'm just going to smudge up that black liner with the brown and blend it underneath my eye. Then to just keep with the whole dimension thing, just to make my crease look more dimensional, I'm just going in with a brown eyeshadow, and then I'm just throwing that right in the crease just to add depth. So then I just went in and filled in my eyebrow a little bit, and then on my lips I just put the foundation color that I used, that brown, I just put it on my lips and then highlighted the top up here with the color that I used to highlight the rest. And now I'm just going to go in with an invisible setting powder and just powder everything to matte it down so it's not super shiny. Then once all the powder is on, you can see it's matted down, looks more like dry wood now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. For the eyes, you could add more if you wanted to. You can pretty much do whatever you want with this look. And then of course extend it onto any areas of the body that is going to be exposed where the skin is showing. So yeah, that's it. So hope this is helpful to some of you who were looking for this, and until my next video, I will talk to all of you soon. Bye.